Greetings, petrol heads. Welcome back to Automation and Car Company Tycoon Game. Now, somebody asked me to build a hot hatch for ESE as well, and I decided to make this the next car in this campaign here. That is going to be the next generation of the Firestorm. It is. Is this the Mark 304? That is Mark 2, and there is Mark 3. So it's the Mark 4. Okay, the Mark 4. Now they requested a front-wheel drive hot hatchback, similar to like a Suzuki Swift Cup car or something, and I made two versions of the Firestorm. The budget version, which is front-wheel drive, has a 2-liter turbocharged engine. I actually wanted to go for lower displacement, 1.6 liters or something, but then for this kind of power, I like the power and torque curve would have changed way too much. Like the turbos would spool up way too late, and I wanted this thing to be more drivable, more usable, and 250 newton meters of torque is a nice number to have. It'll certainly get you moving at a decent pace. It has a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour acceleration time of 6.2 seconds. Top speed is 220 kilometers an hour. That's 136 miles an hour, so that's not bad for a sub 20k hot hatchback. And it'll also do, like, it has really good fuel economy, 7.06 liters per 100 kilometers. That's really good, actually. That's better than some normal so-called eco hatchbacks. Wait, what? What is this? Why does this have a hole in the body here? Weird. But in any case, retrospectively or in hindsight, I have to admit that the front looks pretty much Ford-like. Focus, Fiesta, what have you, those hatchbacks. I realized this looks sort of similar too. Also, this is the first ESE to have the indicators integrated into the headlight array rather than having one separate indicator stripe outside of the headlamps. And then also we have some taillights that are sort of different from what we used to use. 3 singular lamps integrated in a white fixture, and then we have some braking lights or reverse lights here, which for this I actually chose the LED stripes that you find on a workshop. And then of course this is not the only version of this hot hatchback, because like 185 horsepower front wheel drive, that doesn't sound very ESE-esque. So there is this, the 300 horsepower, that means, with all-wheel drive. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, both of them have a 6-speed manual gearbox, and this one is rather quick. Man, you can really see that, from 4th gear onwards, there really isn't much power anymore. And that's kind of weird, because this is a pretty light car still, less than 1200 kilograms, and it has 300 horsepower. And all-wheel drive to, put it down. Also, over the front-wheel drive version, we got this bonnet hump, we got a bigger rear bumper, we got these extra braking lights to sort of separate this from the weaker version. And economy is still not terrible. Less than 10 liters per 100 kilometers is still like very much acceptable for a car like this. And what else do we got? We got active as there's one more difference here. The suspension setup. Progressive springs are the same, but on the 300 version we have adaptive dampers and active sway bars. On the budget version we have gas monotube dampers and passive sway bars. The budget version is a little bit more tuned towards drivability, this one a little bit more towards sportiness, but still manageable. Overall, what does this do? Quarter mile time is should be high 12s. It is a high 12.9 to be precise. I mean, I could retune this engine a little bit and make it produce more power, like 325 horsepower or something like that. Let me know what you think. If I do, then I'm gonna do it in the next episode. But for now, I think, considering this is gonna, we need a little bit of a markup here, but $25,800 is decent, I think, for a performance hatchback like this. You can really compare this to a 2007 like Golf GTI. You can compare this to like a Ford Focus. Actually, the Focus. Which one? What did they call the one with the 305 horsepower in turbo in under 5? Was that the RS 500? Or was it just the Focus RS? Or I have no idea. Ford has way too many names for their hatchbacks, man. And this maybe that would be a competitor for this car. Right. One more thing I wanted to show you guys in this episode is another version of the Growler, because in 2007 we decided it was time to take the game or to challenge a car that you may or may not know, called the Shelby GT500. That thing made 500 horsepower in this era, so we decided we needed something like that as well. So basically what we did is we went to 2007, retuned this engine, kept it naturally aspirated, because the engine bay is not big enough for a turbocharged engine of this 5 liter block, and developing a whole new engine just for this purpose would be very expensive. So we just retuned this, kept it naturally aspirated, kept the 6-speed gearbox, although it was, it has new gear ratios, it has some quality in here. We got a different setup here, so it would reach easily over 300 kilometers an hour. Get some better tires, and 500 horsepower. And the acceleration of this thing is actually really strong. Anything that reaches over 200 kilometers an hour over the quarter mile is fast, in my opinion. Is really fast. And the price for this thing, I mean, the muscle cars have always been cheap, and because this is from steel and has a manual gearbox, I mean, it's kind of understandable why this also doesn't cost all that much. Also, apart from the technical differences, not difficulties, luckily, differences. We have some vents on the bonnet and a revised rear end design. The reverse light, like the white tail light bar that was underneath the red ones, is now gone. We integrated these into the red taillight fixtures and added some vents here as well to make it stand out from the normal versions. And yeah, that is the Growler 500. Let me know what you think on this thing. Is it a true competitor to the Xiaomi GT 500? Because it takes more than just the amount of power that you need. It takes more than that. Do you think this fits the market, or do you think it's lacking somewhere? And yeah, just let me know what you think. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Automation, the Car Company Tycoon game. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.